Okay, here we are, China Shop, November 30. We're floating the .5 brake fluid right through the system. As you can see, obviously, it was a good move because the initial fluid that came out of it was all brown, obviously yellow. Looks like stomach bile, and that's a sign of that it was not necessarily got water in it, but it got hot. We had been using it, so. We're getting purple fluid coming out of both the calipers, and there's no T to the system. There are two lines, one to the left, one to the right, and as you can see, we had a little streak of dirty stuff there, but it's getting flushed through. Just sediment in the either in the line, in the piston void where the piston, or it could have been in the master cylinder itself. See, that says .5 right on the side of it. You see that? So, but I knew when it was coming out, I'm like, whoa, yeah, that's what happens when it sits for 3 years, you know? You get it hot and then it sits. The silicone doesn't get hazy or foggy because it doesn't take on water or moisture like .4, .3, .4. But so there you go. We're going to do the front system first, and we're running plenty of fluid through here. We've already run a whole 60 all the way down milliliters, all the way down to the mark where it says 10 there. So we've already run 10 through. We went back up to 30. We've run another 10 milliliters through, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to keep doing this. We got plenty of brake fluid, so we'll go ahead and run this thing right back up to 60 again. Here we go, and we'll leave it, and we'll keep our eye on it. But we're going to go back to working on something else because this is a bit of a time-consuming process. If you stand here and watch it, it'll take forever. But you can see it's already moving. It is moving, and it is flushing through. So that's really all you need to do. You don't have to pump. You don't have to hold it and bleed it. There's no air bubbles coming out, so there's no air in the system. We're just flushing out the old with the new. Out with the old, in with the new. Like I said, everything else is ready to go. We're not going to put the brake pads and stuff back on. The calipers are just sitting on the mounts there until we get all the fluid. We don't want any fluid touching anything after we've gone and cleaned it all up. So we'll go ahead and get this part of it done. Then we'll patch it all up. We'll put the bolts back on, wire everything up. We'll get our stub axle nuts and spacers back on, everything back together, wired up, ready to go. And then we'll probably throw a set of Dunlops with wheels, the black ones, the fronts, those are 5-inch wide. And then we've got a whole bunch of stuff on the pole in the trailer, wheels and mounted wheels and tires. They're Dunlops. They haven't been on a go-kart 10 years, probably. I don't know why they're still in there, but they're on the pole, I guess. We weren't really doing a heck of a lot with it until Mid-Ohio this year when we brought rain tires and spare tires for this one here, and we tried to hang them on the pole. So we're going to get that stuff out of there, too. Get that stuff stocked up there, put away. We'll keep the 710s for the rear. We'll keep the black 500s on the front. Those are actually relatively new. The only running on those tires was on Rich's vintage cart the first time he took it to the track. So we're not going to run them, but we'll push it around. We'll push it to tack. We'll do all that. We won't put our practice day tires on until practice day morning, until we're heading down to the pit to head out. So there you go. As you can see, once again, you can see she's moving slow. We talked for another, let's see, another 2 minutes maybe. And it's gone down a little bit, so you can see it's going to be a bit of a time-consuming procedure, but it takes no effort, right? Now, what you don't want to do, like I said, is you don't want this to get too far ahead of you. So we'll keep our eye on it here and there, but we'll go ahead and clean the place up a little more, put some tools back. We'll put the balancer away. Get some. I mean, there isn't a heck of a lot we can do with the garage still being a disaster. We can't get the bench area straightened up. A little bit We got everything over here. All this stuff is going to be going into the trailer. So there's places for some of it in the cabinets. Some of it, maybe the bigger stuff, bigger, bulkier stuff, we'll just put it in another tote and stuff it in there. Rather have it with us and have to go looking for it a little bit than not have it at all. So that's it for right now. Clip number 1 from out in the China shop. We got, I made a list last night, numbered 24, 23, 22, 21, all the way down to 0, or all the way down to 1. Yesterday was 24 days until everything has to be in the trailer. That's the night before Christmas Eve, which I'm going to leave Christmas Eve morning. So now I'm on day 20, 23 days to go. So now you understand why I'm probably not going to have a chance to make a seat. I'm going down to Daytona with this go-kart to try to run a personal best lap. I'm not going down there really to race for a trophy and stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see who shows up. I don't know that there's anybody left other than Mitch, to be completely honest. Hoping maybe Darren, you and Pop, come on down, bring the old boat anchor down there and run it with me, man. Bring something down there to run with me. Not the unlimited, the 125. Don't tell me you ain't got something. Derek's got something. Go over to his house. Tell him, listen, I'll take a pile of that brisket and one of those go-karts right there. That's what the Lawsons do, man. I know the Cuthbertsons can do it too. So if we get a bunch of people down there, okay. If we get a few people down there, okay. It doesn't really matter. I'm trying to run under 2 minutes, and it really doesn't matter how much work I do on my end here. If the weather isn't right for running under 2 minutes, it doesn't matter how hot rod Lincoln you are. I've seen Brian and Mitch and Al and all them guys at one point. I don't know if Al's been under 2 minutes or not, but I know Mitch has. I know Brian has in a 125, and I know there's times they went down there and Brian changed 3 motors trying to find some speed, and he was just going to run 203s. That's all there was to it, So, of course, I'm watching that thinking, hey, it's 1 in a million, but you're saying I got a chance. I said on the Facebook page, if Elvis can win Daytona, I can win Daytona. We'll just have to see. But maybe it'll be in this one instead of this one. I don't know. But we just want to run under 2 minutes. So I told Bobby, if there's nobody to race, Mitch has left me in the dust, and I'm running out. But I 15 minutes into the 45-minute race, I cut a lap at 199 or 159.99. I'll pull the darn thing in. I've done what I wanted to do. Ain't no sense, especially if this metal seat is beating me up. Karting should be fun, even at Daytona. It should be fun. So that's why we're going, and that's what we're going to try to do. But, we're going to let this drain down a bit. We're going to clean up some other stuff, get some other stuff packaged up, and on the table, what do we want to call that? The export table. Everything that's going to get exported out to the trailer to take with us. And we'll go from there. We'll bring you back in a while, maybe when we're finishing up the rear. Hang in there, y'all. It'll get better.